They finally let me do it. I've been trying to get this video going for a minute, y'all. So I said, fine, forget it. It's here. Let's go. Let's rock. What's up, Mr. Bronx? So the weigh-in was today. Charlo looks in shape. Somebody's like, they're going to weight drain him. It's amazing how people who don't know about boxing talk about boxing. That is very amazing to me. Charlo Ward came in at 167 and a half. 167 and a half pounds. He will be making his 24th world title appearance. Please welcome the superstar of boxing, el orgulloso guerrero de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, Saúl Canelo Alvarez. Canelo looks very slim. 167 and a half. That's on point, but he looks really small for this fight. Yeah, he looks really small. Oh, man. There it is. The stare down. Both guys centered in, ready to go. People say, well, why do you wait till the weigh-in to make a decision on who you're going to think win the fight? Well, you can get a lot at the weigh-in. The weigh-in could change the way you feel. You could see if a guy was struggling to make weight. You could see a lot of elements here. From the difference I see here, one of the differences I see here is that Canelo is a lot smaller in going into this fight. So it's telling me he wants to be lighter in this fight. Who knows what he's going in on the fight day, but this tells me Charlo does not seem like he's got some nerves. I can tell going into this fight. He's trying to psych himself up like, yeah, this is the moment. But I can tell the stage and the lights might be a little too bright. He's been in pay-per-view fights, but nothing like this. Canelo is another day at the office. But how will the fight play out? That's the psychological battle. How will the fight actually play out? Well, that's my job here to break that down. Well, what's going to happen is contrast of different styles. Now, Charlo likes to come out and set the stage. He likes to be first, and he likes to be aggressive. So Canelo will let him. Canelo's going to pick all his shots off with his glove, and he's looking for openings. He's looking for flaws. He's looking for systematic mistakes that Charlo makes being aggressive. Canelo's going to try to throw a little pawing jab just to keep him active. As Charlo wants to ask, he's going to try to answer Canelo back with every single thing he does. If he throws a punch, he wants to return a punch right back. Now, the thing with Charlo is also a decent enough body puncher. He doesn't just telegraph. This Charlo, not Jamal, Jermell Charlo, actually throws body punches. He actually jabs to the body and tries to throw you off so he can land some punches upstairs and throws combinations. His problem is he fights like he has a balled fist. I haven't used this camera angle in so long. Yeah, and see, Jamal Charlo fought. What that expression means is he throws a lot of punches hard. All his punches are hard. He doesn't throw anything off speed, which tires you out throughout a fight. He doesn't know how to pace himself. So this will leave him vulnerable for a lot of counter punches from Canelo. And Canelo counter punches are very fast. Charlo can't, he could counter punch, but he's normally done that with people who do systematic things. Canelo's body punches are hard. I think he hurts Jamel probably in like round 3. I would say the 3rd round he's going to hurt Jamel. Jamel's going to go to a high guard, and then he's going to try to jab off and try to fight back. I see Jamel probably hitting the canvas once in this fight. Him fighting at this weight shouldn't be too much for him, but it's just getting hit by a much bigger guy and a strong guy. I think Mel can take it. But I think the emotion, getting his nerves settled, him probably fighting from behind after he seemingly wins the first round, and the second round kind of gets a little even, then he makes a mistake, it gets caught, and he gets hurt or something and gets desperate and wants to fight instead of going back to the basics of his jab. The problem that Charlo has is that he fights kind of like an amateur style of fighting, which means that he doesn't put his focus into the places he should be placing his focus. Translation, he's not putting his focus into actually disguising his punches. If he throws a jab, you see it coming. If he throws a right hand, you see it coming. There's no feints. This is why he's not so accurate when he fights. It gets him in trouble. This is like the early stages of Oscar De La Hoya's career. He had to get with someone who could teach him how to use his legs, how to bend down, use his body to throw feints, to get leverage on punches before he throws them. He had to work with Oscar De La Hoya and Robert Actazar to get him to, who they call the professor, to get him to throw the punches correctly and not telegraph everything that you throw. And it made Oscar more effective when landing his jabs and his hooks. He didn't look like a clubhouse amateur fighter as he did when he first turned pro. Now, Mel has been trained by Derrick James since he left Ronnie Shields as a trainer, but a lot of the flaws are still there. He doesn't slip a jab either. He's just like Errol. I don't know why. He just teaches him to bend and get low and get under shots. That only works for a certain period of time. You got to learn how to catch shots with your gloves. You got to learn how to keep your head offline. And is it me or is Charlo got a broke neck? Because his neck is always like linked to the left. If you ever seen Charlo, he don't look like his head is not normally not straight. His head is like this. Yeah, cause when I fight, yeah. So his head is already tilted like this. Yeah, his head is like forever on a tilt, like on a slant. Like my head is already here, ready for it to hit, to knock it into his shoulder. But he's a twin, so his head was probably resting on the other twin or something. Yeah, you probably never noticed that until now. I just said it. Now, if you go back and watch anything Jermell Charlo, you're gonna see his head like this. What's up, Wes? Glad to see you, bro. Would I be surprised if Canelo stops Jermell? No, I wouldn't be. I would be surprised if Jermell stopped Canelo. Yes, that would surprise me. It's not about power. It's about his approach, his mental aspect of the game. Mel is not a mentally strong guy. He tries to psych himself up to be. And I think at heart, he's a good dude. You know, at his core, he's a good guy. It's just that he's easily influenced. And Jamal, I felt, was a bad influence on him, his brother. And I think deep to his core, he's really a good guy. Well, they were only promoted because they were twins. What's up, Jose? Shouts out to Jag Sports with Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. He changed his title name. I don't know why, but he did. To further confuse me. Yeah, I was told I'm selling out the black race by not going with Charlo in the fight, and I'm like, I'm just saying who's gonna win the fight. You supposed to root for Jamil. Man, you holding that beef thing y'all got. Man, let that stuff go. I'm like, I've let it go. I mean, that was like 2013. It's like 10 years ago. I'm definitely not holding on to that. I'm assessing the fight. I don't think he stops Jermell. I think he hurts him, probably knocks him down in the fight. But I think Jermell's got heart, so he's gonna fight. But the mental aspect of it is the lights are too bright. He's gonna be nervous for the first couple of rounds. And even though he's a grown man, Jermell kind of like concedes, like if confronted. But he's got heart. He's gonna fight back. It's just that you either gonna fight back smart, you could do it hard or smart. And Canelo knows how to be poised to do it smart. Charlo, he's gonna do it hard. His heart is gonna make him fight hard. And when he get into that phase, the game's already over. It's over, especially at that point. Marcus, you was gonna bet on Charlo to win this fight? Buddy boy. If you want to just say, hey, I want to go on a whim and bet the knockout and see what happens, Go ahead. He would have to knock Canelo out in order for that to happen. What this is and what you're being presented with is a clear cut, we're cashing you out. Seriously, this is a cash out fight. This fight is dedicated to not cash him out, but this is them to having to reap the benefits of uh, of the fight itself. Canelo better work on stamp. Well, you don't need to when you know how to pace yourself. Um, he said his conditioning was off the last fight because he had a broken hand. Well, that was some bullshit. Canelo's conditioning was off because Canelo was fighting at home. He was back in Mexico. He's back around his family, back around friends. He was easily distracted. I'm not saying he didn't hurt his hand. I'm just saying that the event itself, all this award ceremonies and all this stuff he did, he brought a pay-per-view back to his hometown. That is what was acceptable. Bivol, that's who could beat Canelo. Bivol can beat him. At 168, it's a little bit more his weight class where he needs to remain. 174 is just too big for him to fight at, especially fighting guys like Bivol, who's way bigger than him. Canelo probably won maybe one round or maybe two in that fight. The score they had it was ridiculous. Caleb Plant beats Jamal. Easy. Just as easy as he landed that slap, yeah, Jamal will be out of there. Jamal is stronger than him, stronger than Caleb Plant. But Jamal can only fight 6 rounds. He's not like his brother. Mel is the better of the two Jamals, or the two Charlos. They wanted to fight Jamal Charlo, because he was the middleweight champion. Thanks, bro. I appreciate the super chats. Don't forget to subscribe to this page, and don't forget to subscribe to Jose Rodriguez's page. See, now they calling you Jag. See what you've done to yourself with this Jag Sports talk with Jose Rodriguez. Jose now is Jag. Yo, what's up, Jag? Colorado beat USC. Oh, you better bet that. You're going to get a pretty penny if you bet that they win that game. They're not going to win that game. They're not. USC at every level is, to me, they're better than Oregon. So it's going to be difficult, very difficult for Colorado to beat them, I think. But you know what? Just because you said it, and you said it with such confidence, I'm going to put some money on. I'm going to put some money on them just winning that game. Buddy, they'll bring the Stanford band on that field before they let that happen. Trust me, they ain't letting them win that game. I'm hoping it'll be a lot closer than 21 points. Absolutely not. My thing is when someone is trying to actually, right, when someone is actually trying to make a plan of attack, they attack. When they don't, they don't. It's just as simple as that. I don't know if they do that on my Patreon or not, but I would assume some of them might. But I could see this all the subs and their activity. Yeah, Canelo Alvarez, he became one of the most, I would say, sought after prospects in boxing when he came up. The man has about 70 fights. So he has seen every style there is. Unfortunately for Jamel, he has not faced that. He's faced top tier, like some of the boxers in the game. Like he fought D Hop. Dimitri Hopkins was a tough out for anybody. They were trying to use Charles, the Hopkins name because he's related to Bernard. That's his nephew and all of this. But other than that, you know, that was it. And D Hop was the game of boxing, got him out of there, but D Hop could fight. And the nature of that fight was tough for Charlo going into it. And he won like a split decision. I think he did enough in that fight to get the win or at least get a draw, but that was probably his toughest fight at that young of age. Um, that showed me he has the heart, where all the character and everything else, that's hard. I wouldn't stand by something if I didn't believe in it. So of course, I believe he has heart. Now, when he fought my man from Detroit, Tony Harrison, when he fought Tony Harrison, I knew he wasn't going to win that fight. He was clearly outboxed. Julian Jackson Jr. was outboxing him. He just caught him with a punch and knocked him out and was able to stop him. But Julian Jackson Jr. was outboxing him, and he wasn't accurate. He was missing a lot of his punches because he suffers from the same inflictions. What's up, Jay? Thank you for the super chat. He suffers from the same inflictions that uh, a lot of people that I say fight him can see. When someone telegraphs their punches, you can see them coming a mile away. Ugas will beat Barrios. I see Barrios getting destroyed by Ugas. Ugas' power, his jab is going to be too much. He's not going to fight the way he fought against Errol Spence. He's going to be much more aggressive. Showtime might get out of the boxing business. It's on the table. Um, the thing is that Showtime doesn't want to pay the fee. Normally, it's like $100 million or 125. I don't know their budget, but they allocate that for subscriptions and people subscribing to Showtime. And boxing is that vehicle to get people to subscribe, but they're not having many fights on Showtime. If they do, they're the much smaller fights. They've charged everybody for pay-per-view. So all their fights that you talk about is on pay-per-view, and then they wait a week before they put on the fight to show everybody the fight. Nobody has to wait a weekend no more. Like, let's say you missed the pay-per-view over the weekend and you want to see the fight. And if one of your buddies didn't have it recorded, you had to wait a week for them to air the fight for you to record it or see it. Now, nobody's waiting a week to see the fight because now the fight is on YouTube. The very minute the fight ends, you can get the entire fight on YouTube. Everybody then clipped it up already, chopped out the best scenes of the fight. They're showing all the exciting parts of the fight right then and there. So you're automatically caught in that realm. Showtime was just purchased. They have new ownership. So they're going in a newer direction. They reallocated. Steven Espinoza has been downgraded. So he's not looked at as the boss of anything anymore. Yeah, he's literally just like a face. When things transpire in such a way, what you want to do is get all your ducks in a row. Everybody who pretty much want to be involved are normally involved. When they're not normally involved, they're somewhat involved. You want to kind of maintain that structure. You want to maintain that focus. No. My problem has always been people who never could see like they say, you can't see the lights. Charlo thing is he's too aggressive, too strong. He might be stronger or just as strong as Canelo. It's the timing of his punches. He's going to hit Canelo. I'm not saying he's not going to hit him, but there's no trickery to him at all. There's nothing slick about any of his moves. No. Beans or cornbread wins the fight. Who's going to win the fight? Beans or cornbread? Well, beans are strong, but cornbread absorbs. So, cornbread will win. Beans and cornbread had a fight. Beans and cornbread had a fight. Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread had a fight. For y'all who don't know, that is an old song that if you are black, you've heard 1,000,005 times in your life. Right. I don't know who made that song or nothing. It was just on. Like every day was like theme music played in a black household. Music dominated everything. In a black household, it was played out just like a movie. In every aspect of life, something happening, a song was playing. Oh my goodness. Is this Teofilio Stevenson? I believe it is. I just got a gift sent to me in the mail. Teofilio Stevenson. My dad just sent me this in the mail. Thanks, Pop. Appreciate that. So I got Canelo winning this fight by a decision. I got him hurting and dropping Jermell Charlo early, probably the third round. I think Charlo gets hurt, surprised by a shot, while he's going to punch while Charlo's trying to punch. And he's going to clip him. He's going to get Charlo's attention. I don't think he stops him, but it wouldn't be surprised if he stops him. Charlo needs to be careful. His recklessness will get him in trouble. But his mixture of going to the body and going up top, that is the best thing for Charlo. Got to keep that consistent in your attacking Canelo, but be smart. Don't fall for the traps Canelo's going to set for you. Don't think because you're the taller man, the bigger man, everybody he fights is bigger than him. He's used to this. This doesn't give you the advantage. Canelo's counter left hooks, baiting you in. His reflexes are sharp. So you have to beware early on not to let all your big punches go. But I see a very different type of fight. It's an intriguing fight. Anything can happen. Anything. Now, with that being said, y'all tell me who y'all think right now in the comment section, who you think's going to win the fight. Type Tyson Fury will beat Usyk. Maybe it's something else I got to see, but he's too big for him. I think Fury either not stops him, but beats him by decision unanimously. Uh-oh, Q Lee is going for Canelo? I can't believe it. Tyson saves Showtime's boxing. Well, he expanded Showtime boxing because Showtime boxing was the smaller events. Like they weren't even competing with HBO. Showtime just had the better fights, and they were doing that for years. They had the better matchups, while HBO had the big matchups. They weren't paying out like Tyson. Well, when Tyson came there, it was over. That's when they first rolled out the big money. Like, let's get Mike Tyson. Like, who would let Mike Tyson go? But they thought everybody was going to watch Evander Holyfield. And they were putting on Evander Holyfield versus Larry Holmes. I'm like, it was just totally mismanaging the career of Evander Holyfield. What they were getting was Holyfield was getting like worked out. He didn't know how to finish Holmes. Holmes, they went to a decision. He won the fight, but he wasn't looking good. He wasn't looking good. If that fight would have happened in 91 with Tyson and Holyfield, Mike Tyson would have hurt that man and got him out of there. Deal is still a great human being. Ain't nothing wrong with Deal there. It's not about him being a great human being. It's about him doing what he's supposed to do in the ring. You know, and that's what's important. No, not concerned. Well, it is what it is. Ugh. No. Hey, thanks for the super chat. I'm quite sure he did. He was over the hill. They put him in there with a fight with George Foreman, which was like their first pay-per-view that they did on their own, HBO. They had Don King TVKO leading up to that. Then they became HBO pay-per-view, and the first fight was Holyfield and Foreman. He said, I owed you. Thank you. Hey, no problem. That was an easy one for me to call. I'm just glad it went exactly the way I saw it. You know, he deserves all praise for that. Uh, Terrence Crawford, Bud did his job. Yeah, Holyfield fought some tough fights and he was all hard, but he was undersized. And I think that's what led him to possibly taking steroids and building himself up stronger, especially after the Bo fight. After the first Bo loss, after his first loss, he became susceptible to taking enhancements. From that first fight to the second fight, you could tell there was a difference, a massive difference. No, he was taking some performance enhancing drugs, in my opinion. 100%. Well, the thing was, he wasn't knocking guys out. You know, they thought after he knocked out, because Holyfield was their guy, and they wanted him. And after he knocked out Buster Douglas, this is the guy. This is what we want. He's a clean, wholesome champion. Now Don King won't have any control now. So they kept Mike Tyson was kept away from the title for like 2, 3 years. The longest anybody had been kept away from the title. This is before he went to jail. They were keeping and dodging and keeping Tyson away from that rematch. Normally, a champion lose a fight like that, he gets an immediate rematch. And there was supposed to be one, but they had to go to court as Buster Douglas claims he did not have a contract. That was his last fight with Don King. They went to court and he was able to get out of the fight, and they had to allow the Holyfield fight to happen. So now Holyfield's the champion. So they want to give him negotiating power over Mike Tyson when he does not demand or have any of the Mike Tyson fandom at all. So no. So Tyson had to go and fight on Showtime, where he fought two hard fights with what's his name? Can't think of that guy's name. Razor Ruddock. Yeah, that's what it was. He fought two fights with Razor Ruddock. That was incredible. Yeah, he did. We did a whole live stream on it for like 2 hours. Yeah, HBO normally always makes this mistake. They chose Manny Pacquiao over Floyd. They chose they chose Holyfield over Mike Tyson, and it cost them dearly. They were able to get a piece of the Mike Tyson of the Pacquiao Mayweather money when they could have had both and had to fight exclusively on HBO. They screwed themselves. Then they went out of boxing, and Showtime won the war. Yeah, one arm Razor Ruddock, exactly. Right hand was trash, but the left hook and the left jab, smash. That left uppercut, left hook, that was his thing. Well, Holyfield is smaller, so that's more in line with uh that's more in line with what Mike Tyson likes. If you're his height, you're dead meat. Nobody his height was beating him before he went to prison. Tyson after prison wasn't the same Mike Tyson. When he came out of prison, the techniques were gone. The reflexes and all of those sharp reflexes were gone. Um, it totally eroded. 3 years in prison and away from boxing and all that, it was gone. Now he was strong because when he first came out, he was eating right, he was feeling right, so the power was always there. What's gone now is all those sharp reflexes, combination punching, all of those things were gone. You just weren't going to get those back. Quick, sharp reflexes, timing. We saw it in the first fight back when he fought Peter McNeely, which sold all that money. It was just a return of Mike Tyson. What is he going to look like? And the fight went like 90 seconds. Then he fought Buster Mattis, and that fight, went the way that did. It was a tough, smothering fight for a couple of rounds. Fought for free on Fox, so you got to see it on TV. He landed 2 shots on him, and that was it. He went down. Then Frank Bruno, who was already definitely terrified from Mike Tyson from the first time they fought years prior, he's even more scared going into the ring now. And of course, he walks through Bruno. Bruno fought the fight like a scared man. And Bruno loses. Tyson gets the belt back. He's the champion once again. And yeah, then became the fixed fight with him. And yeah, yeah, he fought a fixed fight and he ended up getting the fight with Evander Holyfield. Um, Lennox Lewis was supposed to be the opponent, but they wanted to get the money with Holyfield first. Like, let's get this Holyfield money. We can finally get it out the way and put Holyfield into retirement. Holyfield just fought tooth and nail in a fight. And after fighting tooth and nail in that fight and barely making it, they took Holyfield real lightly. Holyfield, once getting the Tyson fight, went into a whole different training regimen for this fight, as he was medically approved to get in the ring and fight. Um, of course, he was looking bad in his previous fights that he had leading up to this fight, and oh yeah, it was a different situation for him going into this fight. Holyfield knew he had a bad outing in his last fight, so to prepare for Mike Tyson, it was like he came out looking like a doggone jacked up, roided up version of. I'm just like, what is this? Dude had a trap muscle sitting up here. I'm like, Holyfield was way stronger than Mike Tyson. He could take punches and shake them off. Like, I'm like, whoa, he just ate that? It's like, you couldn't even feel it. His neck was so jacked up. And then he's the headbutting. And plus, Tyson at that point, after he won that fight that he did against, he went about a round, it was done. Charlo's trying to keep himself there. He's trying to keep himself focused. Canelo is another day at the office, but we're gonna see. We gonna see. I'm intrigued. Look at you. Y'all got an hour out of me anyway. I was trying not to go an hour talking about this, but absolutely. So y'all stay winning. I'm gonna stay grinning. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Thanks for all the super chat and support to the show and the page.